descent there, something happened. There was an explosion.
No, I don't want to hear it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Zach is gonna walk right through that door, just like always, just like he promised. He's gonna walk right through that door. No, sweetheart, he's not. No, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hello everyone and welcome to a very special Jason Galka show. Today we are at one of my favorite restaurants in New York, The Smiths. And my guest today is a two-time Emmy-nominated actress who spent 9 years in Pine Valley playing the role of Kendal Hart on ABC's All My Children. It's the lovely Alicia Minshew.
Hello.
Hi honey.
Hello.
So great to see
nice
you.
To see you.
I
and
love
be
that you're here today.
I love this restaurant too.
I do too. This is one of my favorites. And
Is
Bea is such a lovely woman as
good.
well.
We're gonna eat.
Yes, we are. So let's get this interview
Yes.
going. So it's so great to see you.
It's nice to see you.
Thank you. You spent 9 years on All My Children.
I would say almost 10 actually.
Almost 10.
9.5. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
the
what
best
was,
years of my life. It was amazing.
Wow, and it was such a great show, and it still is, of course. It is back online, of course.
It is indeed.
And you spent almost 10 years, as you said, and there
yeah.
must have been so many laughs and cries and dramatic scenes. What are some of your best moments on
It's funny.
All My Children?
When you were saying laughs, I actually used to have a problem laughing where they would cut to me and I would start to laugh and they'd yell, cut, Alicia's giggling again. So I'm notorious for that. I'd say one of my favorite scenes was actually with Rebecca Budig, who played Greenlee.
Yes.
And it was a bridal scene where the two of us are fighting. We're wearing the same wedding dress and we got into the biggest cat fight.
I'm playing that scene in my head as you're saying.
This was like probably 9 years ago. It was one of my first scenes with her. But it was like my introduction to daytime, and here you are, here's your first cat fight, and that's how I became friends with Rebecca, was having this cat fight, and then I did hundreds after that. It's funny, you laugh through it. You're like, this is ridiculous. What are we doing? We're fighting.
It looks like it's so much fun.
It's so fun.
And there's a scene where Susan Lucci, who played your mom, Erica Kane, of course. There's a scene where you two are actually fighting in the rain.
Yes. In fact, that's actually right before we did like a really emotional scene. Mm-hmm. And I remember Susan and I both had lotion on our bodies, and we were trying to hold on to each other. We were slipping and falling, and I was like, and we laughed. Susan and I laughed through that. And
it just
then
looks like such a great cast to be a part of.
You know what it is? Everyone in that cast is really grounded and really just a good people.
Right.
And so they became my family, and they still are kind of my extended family.
And you actually grew up in South Florida,
and
you made your way to New York, and
you
ended up on ABC and All My Children. How did that come about?
Yeah. Well, I knew ever since I was very small that I wanted to act. And I said, Mom, I want to move to New York City and I want to do Broadway. That's what I want. That's because I had done a lot of theater.
Right.
So I thought that's what I wanted to do. Then when I moved up here, it just sort of went towards TV, which I'm very lucky.
Did you ever think that it would?
I was hopeful that I would just get to act in general, and I had really supportive parents, and I drove up here with my boyfriend at the time, and drove from Florida to New York in a little car.
Gosh.
Lived in a teeny little apartment in the meatpacking, and the meatpacking was not cool then. Okay, it was like Hooker Central, and but it was exciting.
Wow.
And I just took classes and auditioned and did commercials and worked my way up, and I auditioned for All My Children several times before I ever got the role.
Wow.
So sometimes you just got to keep at it.
Just keep going.
You just got to keep going.
That's the key, I think.
I think with everything, you just have to keep. If you know that you love it, just keep at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and when you actually got the call to re-audition, you had no idea that you were going for the role of Kendal Hart.
I did not.
Oh
Because
my
I
gosh.
had already read for Judy Wilson before for other characters. And she's like, we're calling you in, honey. And I thought, okay, sure, I'll audition. I'm probably not going to get it again. And she pulled me aside and she said, this is a really good one. Just go and be yourself. Just have fun with this one. And I was like, okay. So I just had fun with this. I tried not to think about it too much. And of course, the one time where you have fun is when you get it. You know what I mean?
When you just let loose
When
and
you
just
let-
be yourself,
Yep.
that's when it all happens.
She said, be your feisty self. And I was like, oh, okay. And I tested with Josh Duhamel. Be still my heart. Be still my heart. Yeah, so that helped because he was so great. And he just loosened me up, and he's like, "Come on, Minshew, let's have fun." And I was like, "Okay." And that was
So
it.
I imagine you got to make out with some pretty hot guys on the set.
Well, I don't want to brag, but
Lean back.
Actually, yes, I did. Cheers to that one. I did. I can't even count how many.
Wow.
I'm not going to drink this. I don't want to mess up my lipstick.
That's why I'm wearing gloss today, so you're not even going to tell.
Yeah, I did. It was, at that, my first on-screen kiss was with Cameron Matheson, who played Ryan, who is still one of my very dear friends, and one of my husband's close friends too. And he was like my first daytime kiss. And I let him have it. And it was fun. And to this day he talks about, "Wow, that was quite a kiss you gave me." And now we're friends.
I would imagine that in almost 10 years of doing this, there are so many lovemaking scenes, candlelight scenes, fighting scenes. You are so convincing. And anybody who's seen the show, obviously, can tell that you are quite an actress. 2-time Emmy nominations. And how do you put yourself in that zone to do that cat fight, do those lovemaking scenes?
Okay, well, the lovemaking scenes are actually really...
Notice how you start with that one first.
I know, right? They're really technical. It's not, it's turn this way, no, put your hand right here. Okay, no, can you kiss facing that way? No, wait, try kissing this way. So it becomes really technical that that it's actually not so steamy as it looks, but we just laugh our way through it. And as far as the emotional scenes go and the fighting and stuff, once you start playing the character, you get to really know them and know where they're coming from, and you can just put yourself in their situation, and you just got to go there. Like, don't be afraid to just go there.
There is one really emotional scene when your husband in the show had passed away.
Yes.
I mean, watching that is very dramatic, but in a really great way. I mean,
yeah, it was very dramatic.
How did you put yourself in that zone?
Well, the character played by Torsten Kay, he left the show, and I was very close with him. So of course I was sad that he was leaving.
Right.
But really, I put myself in the position of any widow. This woman lost her husband, and it's sad. And it really, all I had to do was look at the reality of the situation, that the father of my 2 children, the husband of my husband had died. That was it. Because if I really think about it, it happens to people all the time. And it's really sad. So I think if you just look at the reality of the situation, I mean, that day before I even came on set, I was already crying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was such like a heavy thing
so
for me.
You prepare for it.
Yes, I already came to work sad. And then I was relieved when it was over,
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
fascinating. All the little behind the scenes things that happen, isn't it?
Yeah, and how you prepare. And but it's what a great experience.
And when you got the role of Kendal, she was actually kind of like a villain, a really bad girl, had a bad rap.
She was bad. She dressed bad. Well, they used to call her like trailer trash from Florida. And I'm like, I beg your pardon. I am from Florida, okay? But she was a bitch. She was. We can say that, right?
Absolutely.
That's not that bad, right? Okay.
If it's the truth, you know.
Yeah, no, she was nasty. And they slowly evolved her to become a mother and become close with her, her kids. And so they softened her a lot. But hopefully she didn't still lose her edge. I tried to give her that edge, but she was really mean. Like, people did not like me when I first started. They were like, "Oh, you need to be nice to Erica." And I was like, okay.
But it's like, hello, we're acting
I know
here.
it's true, but they see you every day and they think that you're not nice. In fact, when my husband's sister found out that my husband was dating me, she was a fan of All My Children. And he said, yeah, I'm dating a girl from All My Children. And she said, oh, which one? I said, oh, the one with the curly hair, Kendal. And she goes, oh, that bitch? And so she was afraid that I was going to be like this mean, nasty person.
And you are so not.
Oh, thank
God. Oh my
God.
God, when you walked in the door, I loved you immediately. I loved you when I watched you on the show.
Well, I think we all have that in our...
We do. We all have it in us.
We all have it in us. And so I love playing a character like that because you get to just let it out.
Right.
And just be a brat.
And what's like the transition being an actress, doing theater and plays to doing like on-screen televised type of shows like All My Children?
Well, it's really different because when you're doing theater, you're kind of bigger than life and you really have to bring it down for the camera and really simplify it. And it's just a whole other animal, really. The memorization of the lines, and you get to do it over and over, so if you mess up, like if you mess up on stage, you gotta go with it.
Yeah,
if you mess up on camera, cut and start over. So technically they're very different, but I love them both. Actually, the show that I did next door to Be Smiths at St. Luke's Theater.
At Anthony Wilkinson's
With
show.
Anthony, of course.
He's a dear friend of ours,
oh,
too.
yes. And so that was the first show I had done in years. And that was a switch for me to go from TV back to stage.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is fun. And then became here after, actually. So, they're different, but they're both fun.
Well, I'm sure in theater, like having that audience to feel, like when we're in our studio, because we do a studio show too,
Right,
obviously,
yes,
we have an audience, and like
yes.
for me, I feed off of that
it.
audience.
Yeah, of course you do, because you feel the energy of the people,
Mm-hmm.
and they laugh at you, or they feel with
It's
you.
only because of my looks they laugh
Well,
at me.
no, you're handsome as hell. No, whatever it is that they're feeding off of you, and you're feeding off of them. It's
Right.
such a true thing.
It
So
is.
it's very different when you're on stage, because, like you said, you're feeding off of the audience. When it's the camera, it's very intimate. Like right now, we're very intimate. We don't have like.
And people don't see the whole staff surrounding us.
Well,
right
aside
now.
from the staff, but it's more intimate as opposed to if we were on a stage with people. You'd almost,
it's completely
it's
different.
just a different feeling. They're both great. They're
Absolutely.
just really different. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, before coming to All My Children, you did do a lot of theater and also a lot of commercials as well.
You know what?
One that we were laughing about earlier.
I'm laughing because my manager at the time used to call me Crotch Girl, because I used to do always maxi pack commercials. I would. I'm not going to name them all for you, but I was sort of the feminine hygiene girl. But listen, I made my living doing commercials for 2 years.
Absolutely.
When I moved here. And I was really lucky. But whenever it was like a feminine hygiene, they were like, let's call Alicia. And, that was my bread and butter was
Exactly.
doing
It
the
works.
commercials. And commercials are great. We call it mailbox money. You run to the mailbox and you're like, oh, did I get a check today? Because if they run it, you keep getting residuals. And so that was kind of, every day I was like, the mail is here.
You're never so excited to see the
Never
mailman
so
before.
excited, yeah. So I did that, and that was that helped me pay for my acting classes, which I took a lot of.
Wow.
And I think that really helped me that every little thing prepares you for where you're at.
Exactly.
And I think that prepared
And you
me
are
for
so
it.
successful with 2 Emmy nominations
Oh,
under you and
thank
Soap Opera
you.
Digest Awards.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I feel very lucky, and there's a lot ahead. Oh, Tainted Dreams.
Yes.
We'll cover that. But yeah,
We will.
there's a lot of fun things in the future too.
Absolutely,
So
coming
I'm
up.
excited. Yeah.
And you did do a recent appearance on the current All My Children.
I did a cameo with Eden, the girl who plays my sister, Eden Regal, and it was a one-day thing, and it was nice to kind of go back there and be with people that I love and play a character that I love. It was only for a day because I was doing other things. So
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen in the future? I don't know if I want to be a part of it later, but the doors kind of opened. But I think the show is doing great, and I'm glad that it's still around. And
Absolutely.
to have people working is a blessing.
And you do have a lot of good things that are happening too, because you've done
Yeah.
2 films actually.
I
You played a
have.
little Southern girl.
Oh yeah, but with the hat, I have the hat here. My hat that I wore in that film is actually here. I was going to wear it on my way, and I was like, no, I can't. I'll mess up the hair. I did. I got to go to Savannah, Georgia for 2 weeks last summer, and I played the lead in this romance called Desires of the Heart. And it's opposite Val. I was going to say Val Kilmer. It's not Val Kilmer. Not Val Kilmer. It's Val Lauren, who he's one of those faces that's done a bunch of films.
Right.
So
You would know him more by
he's
face.
Absolutely, he's gorgeous. He's such a good actor. And we got to work together for 2 weeks, and it was like my first big thing after All My Children. And
Right.
it was film. Very different, but amazing, because we were out on location in this beautiful area in Georgia. It was hot.
Oh God.
The hair was
Georgia.
out to here.
2 weeks ago. This is July
You
now.
guys, I know, no, you guys, it was probably the hottest thing I've ever experienced, but I was working, so I was busy. And we're waiting to find out when that's going to be released. We're going to have a premiere in LA and in New York.
Oh, nice.
You should come to the one in New York.
We will be there.
You have to come
We'll
to the
be
one in
there.
New York.
We will,
yeah.
definitely.
So it's a big waiting game with indie films. You never know what's going to happen.
So how is it for you as an actress? The same question as before, doing
Yes.
film and doing on
Doing
screen.
film. Well, with film, you mean doing film as opposed to
like All My
TV.
Children.
Right. Well, All My Children moved very quickly because
I mean, you did pages and pages of script a day.
Exactly. We would do. I myself had days where I would do 55 pages, where I had 55 memorized.
I would break
pages.
down.
I did break down.
It would be a meltdown.
Oh, there were. Not just me. A lot of us melted down. We were like, this is crazy.
We do that in talk show world, and then it's like 5, 4, 3, and welcome back.
No, it's like this. I can't do. Zach, I love you. You know, like that's how it is. With film, you take your time. You do a few pages in one day.
Yes.
So it was actually a luxury because I knew that whole script. I was like, oh, we're only doing 3 pages today? Great. So it was actually easier.
It makes it a lot easier,
makes
I'm sure.
So I do feel like the soaps prepared me and many of my other castmates for doing other things because it's really like,
So now it's like a cakewalk, so to
it
speak.
really is. Like you really hit the, we really did it all, and now anything else after that, I feel like is a little easier.
Right.
But you know, it is different. Technically, it's different because you have the close-up shots and the master shots, whereas All My Children is just one shot, and you got to keep going.
And they didn't do a lot of on-location shots, I would
No,
imagine.
no. We were pretty much. I mean, we had sometimes we would go to like the park, or they went to the Bahamas one year, and I didn't get to go.
Uh-oh.
The one year, but we're usually in studios, so
Right.
it was nice to kind of be outside. It kind of adds a
Yeah,
whole
it
different
kind of
element.
adds a little different thing.
Well,
like
a
you say.
reality to it, like you're really outside. You're not in like a fake outside, you know, with fake trees over here. You're really outside, so it has a
Yeah.
whole other feeling. But I loved it all. Every
I
experience.
can
was
see
great.
that. I mean, you're just such a fantastic actress. And anybody who's watched All My Children with Alicia can see that, obviously.
Oh, well,
And
I have good days. There were good days and bad days. Let me just say that. There were days where I was like, I don't want anyone to see that scene. But you know, it's just like any other job. I feel like if you do it every day, you're gonna have days where you're just better than others.
absolutely.
You just are.
It kind of
You know?
grows on you, too, and
Yes,
you get more comfortable
You get
with
more
it.
comfortable with it. I mean, I watched my first shows where I, 10 years ago, and I was like,
I watched my first shows from last year when we premiered, and I'm
Oh, yeah.
mortified. I'm like, that went out on the
oh,
air.
really?
I'm like,
Oh, that's so funny. See, and no one,
I'm the same way.
no one probably sees that in you.
Right, but I
right?
see it
You see it
myself.
in
You know, we
yourself.
see it in our
Of
own
course.
work
I
because
watched
we're
my
doing
first
it.
show, and I was like, how did they not fire me after day one? What the heck was I doing?
Oh, honey, I can relate to you.
Right? But then you just grow and you learn, and and then you get
It's
really
true.
comfortable.
It's a whole process.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you are sort of returning to the soap world because there
Oh,
is a
yeah.
new soap out there. It's a
Yes.
web series. It's called Tainted Dreams, which
That's right.
I'm actually going to be a little part of. It's in a few weeks.
Yes.
I'm playing a reporter
I'm
soon.
excited that, and I'm not working the one day that you're
I
working.
know, doesn't that
What's up
figure?
with that?
Sonia.
I know. What's up with that? Yes, so Tainted Dreams, and that was written by Sonia. Have
Yes.
you ever interviewed Sonia?
I did actually
Okay.
at the premiere night of Anthony's
Oh,
show over here.
of my big Italian
Funeral, yes.
which I've not.
Sonia Blangiardo. Oh, shout out to you, honey. She is
Shout
such a
out-
lovely lady.
love her. She came to me about a year ago, over a year ago, with this script and said, I have this show, I have you in mind to play this role. Will you please read it? I read it, I loved it. This is before All My Children was even, back online. It was
Right.
just, it was actually right when it came off the air. And I read it and I said, I love it, I want to do this. So cut to a year and a half later, I'm finally back in New York, and it's actually happening. And
Wow.
it's a story about the behind-the-scenes look of soaps, like what really happened.
Interesting.
And I kind of play her. I play a version of her. It's loosely based on her life as a producer.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I play the producer.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, I do. I'm playing the producer. You probably have to wear a business suit, pull the hair back. I don't know. Whatever Sonia wants. But I will be playing a version of her. And I'm sort of the caretaker of the whole group.
You guys kind of look a little bit alike,
Well,
too.
I wonder if that's why maybe she chose me. We're both Italian, got the curly hair. She's amazing. She's just such a great
She
woman.
absolutely
And
is.
she's put this whole thing together. The cast is unbelievable.
Right.
It's people, some people from All My
From
Children.
All My Children, yeah.
Yes.
Walt Wiley is one of
Walt,
them, actually.
Walt is one. My friend.
The guy that played Alec, I don't know his name offhand. He played Alec,
Alec.
right, Alec? I think he was originally on General Hospital and somehow transitioned over to
I'm confused.
AMC.
Wait,
Yeah.
who's that?
See, I'm so terrible.
No,
with
no.
names.
Maybe it's One Life to Live. Could it be?
It could be One Life
It could
to
be
Live.
One Life to Live. Well, no, Austin Peck. Austin Peck is playing my boyfriend.
Okay.
Michael Lowry, who used to play Jake on All My Children. Terry Ivins, who was one of the Fusion girls on All My Children. So there's a really cool mix of, and there's some reality stars. There's a few people from Real Housewives of New Jersey.
It looks fantastic.
You know, there's
I mean,
theater people, so it's really a nice mix.
Absolutely.
And,
I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait. What a fun part for you.
I know,
right?
as the reporter. Apparently
Yeah.
holding a mic is my trademark, but it's over me today.
It's over you today, but you're probably going to be like, hey,
I'll be like, yes.
I know. Well, I'm not going to be there, but you're going to have fun. It's a
I
great.
will,
I know a
definitely.
lot of the people. It's a great group.
It seems like it is. And
Yeah.
you guys can visit it online right now to check it out. It's tainteddreams.com. So be sure to check it
right.
out. Alicia is part of it as well.
I am. Yeah, we start on Monday. We start shooting Monday.
Wow.
2 weeks straight. I've got like a pile of scripts. So
Oh my
I'm in like.
goodness. So you're busy.
So when I leave you guys today, I'm going to be like learning my scripts. But it's great stuff. It's like fun to learn.
It
because
seems
it's
like it
really
is. I'm
good
really
stuff.
looking forward to
I
it.
may get to kiss a man or two. I'm not telling you who, but I'm just saying. I may get to kiss a man or two.
Or two. Two being the key word here.
Two being key. Yeah, I'm lucky.
So do you ever think about going beyond this one day, and now that you have all this exposure and years in acting, about maybe directing your own type of soap opera?
It's so funny that you say that. I actually have zero interest in directing.
Well, maybe you say that now.
Well, you know, it's funny. I see how hard it is.
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable really doing the acting. Writing might be something that I'd be interested in because I have a lot of ideas in my brain, just of things, things with my daughter, things that have inspired me. So I've jotted down ideas, and I think I've jotted down. It's kind of a one-woman show comedy of all these wacky characters that I've seen in my life that I could play. Because I can play some wacky
I'm
characters.
sure.
And that might even be a theater show. So in terms of doing something else, I would say maybe writing.
Excellent.
Yeah, and who knows? Like right now, I don't feel like directing or producing because I
Right.
see how much work it is. But you know,
You're still loving the whole acting.
yeah, I'm
that's
still
okay.
really into the acting thing, and you know, talk to me in 5-10 years, and I could totally switch gears.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just never know.
No, it's true. You get this inkling, and you go with it. And look what Sonia did. She really
She
she's
pretty much made her way up.
Worked her way up, branched out. Now she's directing and producing and this and writing.
She's a
and
busy gal,
She's doing.
but she's
She's
fantastic.
the busiest girl I know, and she's amazing. And I'm really blessed.
Well,
that
I'm
she's
so
alive.
honored that she asked me to be a part of Tainted
Oh,
Dreams,
it's
so I'm
great.
looking forward
I think
to it.
it's
So
great.
thank you so much for that.
Yay! Good.
And of course, you're a part of it, which I'm even more
I
excited about. All
know.
my friends, Anthony is a part of it.
I work with Anthony a lot. I'll be
Yeah.
with him a lot. So we're going to be in the trenches together.
Oh,
and
that's
I
so
think by
awesome.
the time the show is over, I'm going to be laughing hysterically. And
Especially if
and
he's on board.
if he's on board, I'm going to be laughing.
He just makes me laugh.
He's funny. He's a funny guy. So I'm really glad he's actually playing my best friend.
Aw. Well, that's not such a hard part to play.
I
That's
know,
gonna be
I
easy.
know. It's going to be fun. So I'm excited.
You should be. So in
Yeah.
addition to doing all these wonderful things in acting, you are also a mom and a wife.
I'm a mom.
How do you juggle the two? Because they're both like full-time careers, basically, right?
It's so funny. I was talking to my dad was in town recently, and I was talking to my dad, and I was saying, "How did mom do it? You know, because my mom worked and she had 3 kids, and I think for me, it's just about finding the balance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of being there for my daughter." And then having to, leave her with her dad and go and learn I'm still finding that balance.
Right.
She's little. She's 3.
Aw, she's so precious.
Maybe I'll bring her on set one day. I should bring her
Yeah,
on
you
set
definitely
one day.
should. She
She'll
just
run
might be
around.
an actress one day.
She's a drama queen already, let me tell you. But I think I'm still trying to find that balance, of how am I there for her, but how do I still focus on my work?
Right. Well, it seems like you're doing a great job because you are doing both, and she's turning out to be a beautiful young lady.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, she's a good girl. When I do Tainted Dreams, I'm going to be gone for working for 2 weeks, and she's used to having me around. So I'm curious to see how she's going to be with me not being around.
Oh.
It's okay. You know what? It's good. She'll have time with her father. She has friends. We have family.
And you're married to a wonderful, handsome husband as well.
I am. She probably won't even miss me, which is I'm hoping she won't miss me. Hopefully. Yes, and I have an amazing husband, who's actually very cool about me, doing kissing scenes, and he's like, "Oh, I just don't watch." He's like,
when he doesn't know, doesn't hurt
He's
him,
like,
right?
"Ah, that's my girl. She's probably making out with somebody." He's like, he actually, Torsten, who played my husband on All My Children, introduced me to my real life husband.
Oh, wow.
So I would have my TV husband and my
then you
real
have
life
your real life
husband.
husband.
I would wake up one morning and kiss one. I'd go to work and kiss the other. And they were both like, ew, who'd you kiss? Who'd you kiss? Which one of us are you kissing now?
That is fantastic.
Right.
Alicia,
Good.
honey, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being here
Thank you for
today in our
having me.
favorite restaurant, B.
We love
Smith's
this
here in New
place.
York. We're actually going to have lunch here right
Crab
now.
cakes.
Yummy. Sounds delicious.
delicious, yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you for
once again,
having
honey. You are
me.
so welcome. You're
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Oh.
I love you.
So are you
You
and
love
your
her on
boo.
Kendal Hart.
Oh, God. Thank you.
So thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in. And a very special thank you to B. Smith's here in New York City on 46th Street. As always, we will see you next time. And visit Tainted Dreams online at www.tainteddreams.com. See you next time. Bye-bye.